Hi. As Carla said, my name's Carla. I have kind of a long history with Heartspring. I'll give you the Reader's Digest condensed version. In 1989, I went to work at the Institute of Logopedics as the switchboard operator receptionist, and I got bored very quickly. I realized real fast, so I wanted to hands-on with the kids. And I moved to an administrative role in the education department and wound up then transferring to a position that was then called psychological services assistant, but today is a behavior specialist. And I worked directly with Dr. Henry Marks. He was my mentor, who was the Heartspring psychologist at the time. In 1998, I transitioned over to the new campus. And I am also just kind of an animal nut, as anybody who knows me knows. And in 2003, I had the opportunity to work in leadership at the Kansas Humane Society. So I went and I did that and built a whole new building there, and got all the animal programs up and running. And in, let's see, 2000, I had always maintained a relationship with Heartspring because my late husband worked there. He oversaw the mechanical systems and maintenance and grounds. And he passed away in 2012 from cancer. And after that, I went back to school, got my master's degree, and came back to Heartspring, and now have been in pediatrics, working with children impacted by autism and other developmental disabilities and their families. Toileting has always been a big interest of mine because of both mainly actually because of the impact it has on the family. You know, oftentimes the whole family really, that's a priority, a huge priority. You know, and with some kiddos, when it's a priority for fitting in with peers. And when they get older, it's a priority for placement. So it's a huge one. And the way the family behaves towards the child can so impact their ability to achieve that skill. And bringing both the behavioral component and the family component together for success is quite a passion of mine. So that's kind of what I'm about. Alrighty. So with that, I will go ahead and share my screen. And I might need you to talk me through this, Carla.
There should be a share screen option at the bottom of your, yep.
Okay. And now I want to start it, right?
Yes. Slideshow.
Slideshow?
Oh. Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
And there's got to be start slideshow here somewhere, right?
Yes, you can click from beginning. It's the far left.
There we go. Look at that.
There you go.
Alrighty, look at that. Why I always need prompting through those that first little step, I don't know, but I sure appreciate it. I'm prompt dependent. Okay. Alrighty, so bathroom skills, conquering the potty, and that's what we're here to do today. First thing, like I said, the family system is oftentimes mostly impacted by this, so we've got to get ourselves ready first. So get that, you know, just like they say on the airplane, put your oxygen mask on first. We kind of need to have ourselves regulated and under control before we can help anyone else. And following right into that is have a plan. You're going to hear me say that over and over. Plan, plan, plan. You know, even if you find your plan kind of going south from time to time, that's fine. At least you've kind of got a baseline to go back to. Another huge thing is we've got to have some method for the child to request to use the potty. And again, tying back to the plan and tying back to having our own oxygen mask on first is that's having everybody on all caregivers on the same page. And that can be the same caregivers in the house. You know, sometimes we have one parent who wants to go the slow, consistent, gradual training method. And we have another parent who wants to go, oh, you know, when I was a kid, they just put me in big kid pants and that was the expectation. And, you know, we somehow got to get that to come together and kind of meet in the middle. Got to be consistent across all settings. Foundation skills. There are a whole lot of skills. Some are internal readiness on the part of the child, and some are dependent upon us teaching the child that are going to set that kiddo up for success. And when I say kiddo, I'm talking all ages. You know, we can have a 4-year-old or we can have a 14-year-old. The major difference that's going to happen between those two children is the 14-year-old is going to have practiced that behavior for a really long time. So learning new skills is going to be more, it's going to take longer. When we look at age of readiness for kids in terms of potty training, it's actually increased. And you think of all the variables that go into it, and it really makes sense. I was lucky enough to have stayed home with my kids and crazy enough to have made cotton diapers for them. So I made their diapers, I changed their diapers, I washed their diapers. I was ready for toilet training. And so were they. It is not pleasant to sit, sleep, or hang out in a big hunk of wet diaper. And now there are all sorts of shapes and sizes of diapers that wick moisture away from the skin, and you know, it's just more comfy. There's not that motivation there to get out of the diapers. So what we are seeing is, anyway, even in neurotypical kids or normal, whatever that means, toilet training is coming along later. And of course, when we have a special need in the picture, that can it can even take longer. And when I say special need, I even mean a little bit of anxiety can push toilet training to later. So another big variable is eating and drinking. Are we eating and drinking regularly and well? You know, it's pretty simple. When it comes in, we can pretty much predict when it's going to come out. You know, we can get to know that kid and kind of get to know their routine. What's their level of cooperation with simple one-step requests? If we don't have compliance and cooperation, then when we ask them to sit on the potty, it may become problematic right there. So just a way to communicate and cooperation is going to be helpful. Are wet and dirty diapers, are they becoming predictable? Are they fewer and further between? Or are we, or are they just kind of, is it just kind of constant? You know, in that case, we might be looking at some kind of medical problem or some kind of an awareness problem. Maybe they don't know and can't control those muscles. Are they just showing signs of discomfort when they're wet or dirty? Are they coming to you? Are they saying I have a wet diaper? Are they saying I have a dirty diaper? Are they asking to be changed, gesturing, taking your hand and taking you over to the clean diapers? Any of that kind of stuff. That's a good sign. Can they pull with their clothing up and down? That's an important one for independent toileting. How regular are they? Do we have a kiddo that is having bowel movements like clockwork, or is it more of a guessing game? And how aware are they of their own bodily signals? Are they coming to you and saying that they're thirsty? Are they taking your hand over to the sink? Are they going to the refrigerator and getting the juice out? Are they saying that they're hungry? These kinds of things suggest an awareness of what's happening within their body. And mostly when they do have a bowel movement, are they kind of taking pause, maybe squatting or going to a specific place? Like if little Junior goes over here, you know what's about to happen. You know, these are kinds of things that say I'm ready. How's their overall behavior? Do we have any behaviors present that maybe need to be worked with first, that might compete with toilet training? Non-cooperation would be a big one. If non-cooperation then leads to something else like tantrum, those kinds of things need to be worked with first so that we can be successful with toilet training. How about a 3-minute sit on that potty? That's going to be important. Can they sit there for 3 minutes? If they can't do what needs to be done within 3 minutes, then right back off, and it's no big deal. Choices. How many times a day does your kiddo get choices? And this plays into compliance and everything else that, sets us up for potty training. And these can be choices that even can be kind of strange at times. Sometimes we miss opportunities to give a child choice just because it doesn't seem like we have a choice to give them, but we do. Like dressing, for example. Oftentimes we want to say, here, wear this shirt. But with the child, when you look at it from the child's perspective, we have a kiddo who is being told to do all of these things most of the day, and they rarely get to make their own choice, which leaves them feeling powerless. And so they oftentimes will do other things to get power. So the way to balance this out is to give them choice whenever possible. So we can, instead of saying, here, wear this shirt, we can say, do you want to wear the red shirt or the blue shirt? Do you want these socks or do you want these socks? Do you want to sit over here or over here? Do you want the fork or do you want the spoon? Do you want the red crayon or the blue crayon? White paper, or here, you pick this color. All of this can blow up right into the bathroom. These are wonderful skills to take right to the bathroom. Do you want me to sit over here, to stand over here while you're on the potty? Do you want me to help you on the potty, or do you want to do it yourself? You can just bring all of these choices everywhere you go. And that is going to build a more positive relationship with that child, regardless of the special need that's present. They still want to connect with us. They still want to attach to us. They still want to interact with us. And choice is the way to go. Build those choices whenever you can. It's real important to stay creative with this one. It really will help you in the end, not only with potty training, but really with your relationship with your child overall. And modeling that for other family members is great too. They can see it. They can see your relationship growing, and it just really is helpful. Materials. We're always going to need stuff when we're going to start upon a new project. So for materials, we need knowledge. That's why we're all here today. We can't embark upon this alone, and we need to know what we're going to do. We need to have that plan, and data sheets are going to get us there. Data sheets can be simple as getting a pen and a piece of paper and keeping a track of when your child is wet or dirty. That will give you information so that you know when it's most likely going to happen. There are a wide variety of potty chairs, seats for the toilet, and whatnot available to assist with potty training. You know your child best. You can kind of play into their likes. Maybe a Thomas the Train potty chair will, really be the winning ticket there. So whatever, you feel is going to be best. Sometimes kids want to really model us and follow us. And if you just want to go with the plain old toilet, that's fine. I'd get a squatty potty if they're younger and so they can get their feet up under them. You're going to need to go on a shopping trip. Brand new big kid underpants of his or her choice again. It's going to be fun. They're going to be like mom, dad, brother, sister, whoever, and get to wear these pants. Some kind of activity is fine for your kiddo to engage in while seated on that potty. And most importantly, what you're going to want to identify and keep is a small special reward that the kiddo receives only for going on the potty. So it's not going to be something that they can have at other times. It's just only. And just for example, I'm a boy mom, 2 boys. For one of them, it was Milk Duds, and for another, it was peanut M&Ms, and that got the job done. Also, you're going to need to have a willingness to turn your bathroom into a personalized kid zone. That bathroom is going to be a fun place to hang out. Your kiddo is going to need to have to be comfortable to be in there to learn, and so are you. So feel free, in fact, do make that bathroom a fun place. A lot of times what I have seen happen with children is the bathroom has become task-oriented. Like, we're going to go in here and we're going to get this done. We're going to learn how to potty. And if you can just flip that around to the bathroom's a fun place to be, and the child will become more interested in it, make it gamey. You know, some little boys like little things to put in the potty to potty on, and that kind of thing. Any way you can make it a game, make it fun, get it relaxed, the best chance of success you're going to have. Support is huge. So when we are working with a child on bathroom habits, there might be other children in the home. We can only be at one place at one time, and we can only do one thing at once. At Heartspring, when I was in the residential school, we did some amazing toilet training programs with residential school students because they were residential school students and we got to go home at the end of the day. You're home. So it's important when you're embarking upon helping a child be successful in the bathroom that you have support of your family so that you can trade off, you can get a break, and that kind of thing. Big time to put your patient's hat on. Accidents are going to happen. And when they do happen, it's an opportunity. It's just not a big deal. You're going to want a timer. A lot of times for timers, I just use my phone. And you are going to need some kind of fun self-care activity for yourself to look forward to at the end of the day. You gotta have a carrot on the end of the stick out there for you too. In fact, that might be most important. The process. I did not put any kind of time limit for how long this takes on this presentation for a reason, because that is as dependent on, it's dependent on so many variables. It's dependent on how intensive you're able to be, how effective of the communication plan you have in place, how consistent everyone is across all settings, and how much support you do have and how much time can you devote to it. Usually what ends up happening is if you devote about 3 days to being in the bathroom and training this intensively, that would be about the average. I would not go less than 3 days, because 3 days is going to give you good consistency. You might wind up going more, especially as I mentioned, if a child is older. And then again, another reason I didn't put kind of a how long is this going to take limit on it is a lot of times, especially with older children, we'll have a skill half learned. And then we'll have some habits or corrections needing to be made in one area. And that is so individualized and so specific to that one child, it's very difficult to put on a PowerPoint presentation. So folks who are challenged with those kinds of needs, they're going to be asking for help and getting the help that they need. So first thing to do is get the fluids going. The more, we can increase those fluids, we're going to have many more opportunities to learn. And set your timer for 30 minutes initially. And that 30 minutes, we usually want to have a kid dry for about an hour before we start toilet training. That 30 minutes is going to get you in ahead of that hour. And hopefully you'll be able to capture opportunities for learning because of that. When that timer goes off, use however you communicate with your child to prompt them to the toilet for that 3-minute sit. If that 3-minute sit is not in place, if they won't sit for 3 minutes, I do have a training plan for that also, to get them gradually increased to a 3-minute sit, and can get that emailed to you if you need it. And do remember, your kiddo can have an activity while they're seated on that potty. You know, 3 minutes is a long time, really. If they go in the potty, a verbal praise, reward, and that extra special treat that you save just for that. If they have a bowel movement in the potty, throw a party, an absolute party. Whatever the kiddo really enjoys, they get lots of it. If they do not go in the potty, no big deal. Off the potty they come, and reset that timer for another 30 minutes. And I'm being very specific about that 3 minutes, because that's really what we need to have happen. And I'm saying that because children have come in with, I've met kiddos who have actually had anxiety surrounding potty training because they've been required to sit for upwards of an hour, kind of a, well, you're going to sit there till you go sort of thing. And boy, 3 minutes, if we haven't done what we need to do in 3 minutes, we're off. And you know, if we're gonna extend that, it's going to become a real negative event for the kiddo. And remember, that bathroom is going to be a party place. We don't want to have negative events or feelings, as few as possible, associated with that. Okay, accidents, they are going to happen. Watch for signs of an accident. When you see like wetness happening, we're going to have our kiddo in dry pants at this point. We're not going to have any diapers. So when you see an accident beginning, boom, you're going to prompt the kiddo to the potty and encourage them to potty on the toilet. If the child does not potty, then, and you know, has the accident, does not potty, that's fine. We're off the toilet in that 3 minutes. If the child does, of course, reward. And you can have your child help clean up to the degree that they can. And again, you know, it doesn't need to be a negative event. It can be fun. It's no big deal. Accidents happen, and that's a good way to practice good parenting and kind of keep that relationship solid with your kiddo. So pooping in the potty, boy, that can be a challenge. Because we just don't have as many opportunities during the day to learn with this one. And I think it can be, that is why, in my opinion anyway, for working with these kids over the years, that sometimes we get them trained to urinate in the potty, but then get hung up with pooping in the potty. In order to affect, before I would even start on this, I would want to have 2 weeks of information, of good data on when is this kiddo going? Is there any specific place, location in the home that they're going? And what is the consistency? I'd really want to know a lot of information about this, because we might want to take it more from a time training perspective. So we've got the foundation laid for being in the bathroom. The bathroom is fun. Fun things happen in the bathroom. With the urine training, then we would move on to the pooping training with that in the bank, so to speak. And we would have our times, and we could use more of a time training approach on knowing when we should be in the bathroom, near the bathroom, and that kind of thing. And then you would just follow the same procedure for having a bowel movement.
Carla, I actually have a question.
Okay.
So I have seen older children where they have a pull-up or a diaper on and they have a bowel movement in the diaper, and then they will urinate in the toilet. Would you reward that?
Okay, would I reward the bowel movement in the diaper?
Would you reward the if they urinate when you went to go change them? Would you reward them for urinating in the toilet?
That's a good question. Okay, if they were in the process of being trained to urinate in the toilet, I would.
Okay.
If that skill had been learned and that urination just happened in the process of a cleanup, I would not.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so skill generalization. A lot of times we get that kiddo potty trained and we're like, yay, I can go out now. We can go everywhere. Not so much. I don't want to burst your bubble. You've done great work thus far, but like with everything else, we're going to need to generalize that skill to other bathrooms. We're going to have consistency, you know, at home, and then we're gonna go to maybe a family member's house that we frequent or a friend's house that we frequent. We're going to slowly introduce into the community. And, you know, I'm sure if you're on this call, you know that public restrooms can be an issue. Sometimes just opening the door can, you know, of the restroom can result in a tantrum. As soon as they see the automatic flusher or as soon as they see the hand dryers on the wall, they're very loud, noisy, scary environments. So you might want an actual desensitization plan to help them over those bumps. The good news is, I think with all the family bathrooms out there, this is, you know, can somewhat be minimized because it's a more contained environment where the family, you know, the caregiver can be there to be more supportive, and I think that's helpful. But a slow generalization out into other settings is gonna help your kid take this, be successful with this also. Nighttime, that's a whole other animal. So once we have our kiddo in the big kid pants, we're not going to put diapers on them, except at night. If you want to continue using diapers at night, that is fine. When you start nighttime training is when you're seeing consistent dry diapers in the morning. That totally is a sign you're there, go for it. If you do choose to use diapers at night, make sure they go on only at night and that they come off first thing in the morning. That's actually a great training opportunity. You know, you have your diapers on at night, boom, we wake up in the morning, we go to the bathroom. That's pretty much what we all do. And that gets that habit started. If you are using nighttime diapers, they don't go back on until bedtime. Once we are out of those diapers, we are out of those diapers during the day. You get to go on another shopping trip. I would stock up on, you know, have a couple extra plastic mattress covers, extra sheets, blankets, that kind of thing. Because once those diapers go away for nighttime training, I would, you know, predict a few accidents. And with some kids can even continue to have accidents that are just plain accidents, you know, 7, 8, 9, even 10. And it's, you know, they're just not waking up. Limit your fluids in the evening, but of course, you know, keep them healthy. You don't want to cut them off. If a kid's thirsty, they're thirsty. Trip to the potty before bed And as I said earlier, wake them up early and straight to the potty, and remember that reward. And when you're first removing the diapers at night, you might even want to set that alarm a few minutes early and get up ahead of your regular time if it's not going to cause too much of a struggle, just so you can make sure to capture that first event of the day. A few barriers. So age. Kiddos are going to be most malleable when they're young, and that's, you know, us too. While they're, you know, most primed for potty training around the age of 3, if we're going to look at a diagnosis of enuresis or encopresis as a persistent problem, that can't be made until they're 4. So we really can't even expect them to be potty trained till 4 and above. After the age of 7 specifically, it gets a little bit challenging. It sure can be done, but more time and resources are going to be devoted. After that age of 7, they have been practicing this for 7 years, and they can become very habituated to being in wet or dirty diapers, and it just gets hard. They might not be motivated by being dirty. And what you can do is you can take the convenient disposable diapers away and put them in cloth diapers, and you know that might help. And like I said, the longer we practice a behavior, and that's for all of us, the more ingrained it becomes. And our own anxiety is a big thing. When we become anxious, you know, how come little Junior isn't trained yet? It transfers right to the child, and then the child is going to pick up on that anxiety and develop the anxiety, and none of us can learn when we're anxious. Consistency, how consistent you are, and the kind of support you have. As I said, in the past, I've been real successful in the residential school program, toilet training some really, really challenging kiddos. But then again, all of us got to go home at the end of the night, and you are home. You don't get to do that. So, you know, that support is key. Pitfalls. These are some things that you are gonna want to avoid, because they can certainly make training more challenging. Control. Children oftentimes, you know, like I said earlier at the beginning, they you know, we are telling them to do things all day long. Their world is very, very controlled, and they are at a early point in their life where their little minds are growing and they're curious, and you know, we're trying to control that. There's 2 ways they can really get control of us. One is what they eat, and 2 is when they eliminate. So to help them feel more in control and to actually give them more control and create empowerment, I'm going to go back to those choices all the time. Anytime you can offer a choice, you know, do you want to sit here? Do you want to sit there? Just whatever, give them that option to make the choice. Another pitfall is the temptation to require a sit that's longer than 3 minutes. You know, oh, just this once, we'll try 5. You know, just stick to that magic 3 minutes. If it hasn't happened within then, it's probably not going to. The exception to that would be the occasional child. If they tell you they need longer than 3 because you have them sit there for 3 and at 4 minutes they eliminate, then sure, do it. But just on average, start with that 3, unless they tell you different. A temptation to return to those diapers just this once. Once you have those big kiddo pants on, keep them on. Stick to it. You worked hard for it. You earned it. If we use those diapers just that once, it's going to go down the path of getting easy again. And, you know, you don't want to lose the learning that you've gained. You're moving forward, keep moving forward. The temptation to leave home before the kiddo is ready. Work on those generalization skills before you go on your vacation. It really, really will make a difference. In summary, manage your own anxiety. You know, it's just not a big deal. You can take a deep breath, nice deep cleansing breath. Accidents aren't a big deal. I have seen very, very, very few children. In fact, I haven't seen one at all that I thought, you know, oh my, you know, this kiddo is going to be in diapers forever. They all have the potential to be trained unless there is some kind of medical issue. Some are more impacted by other diagnoses like ADHD. Sometimes they get so involved and wrapped up in what they're doing, they forget. And that's just a kiddo that needs more reminders, and there's ways that we can do that. You know, there's lots of help out there. Take a deep breath. Consistent plan carried out by all caregivers. Be consistent. Keep your eye on that prize. You'll get there. It'll happen. And what I've noticed mostly, if we bump up to that consistency bullet, if we give that kiddo consistency, and if we give them choice, we give them opportunity, we give them reward and praise for going in the potty, they self-train. And we can back away as they figure it out. They go, oh, this is what you want me to do, no problem. And hey, I don't have wet pants anymore. So it really does happen more often than not. And be kind to yourself. Ask for help. That's what we're here for. Do you have questions?
I have a question. My name is, I'm the mother of, and he will soon be 18 years old, is not potty trained, and he is not at all bothered by being wet. I mean, you know, he uses pull-ups, but, you know, we've tried putting, you know, underwear on him and watch him, and, you know, he'll be walking around the house and all of a sudden we'll see he's wet. So he's not bothered by it at all. So how do you deal with that issue?
Okay, so that 18 years, he's been doing that for a long time.
Right.
And chances are when you have an 18-year-old, they're not bothered by being wet because that's their life. You know, you and I are very bothered by that. And this is our life. This is what we have been practicing forever. And he has been practicing wet for all of his life. So that would be a very, very, that would be a program that he would need to devote all of his time to. I mean, that would need to be his goal, would be toilet training. And that would be one of those 3 to, I don't know, 7, 10-day programs where the one place you are is in the bathroom. And that's what you're working on. And with kiddos like that, you know, like I said, that age, that 18 years, that would be it. You would be devoted to just that skill. So that would be an entire team decision and a big IEP decision too, I would imagine, because other services would need to subside while that was being worked on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, that gets big.
Sorry, I have a question. Sorry, are you guys ready for me or are you done? And my son's, he's 4. So we've tried potty training a couple of times and struggled with it. So now we never use a diaper anymore, but we use pull-ups. And he goes in the bathroom, but after the training, I can see where I'm doing a lot of things wrong. But I guess he doesn't want to put on underwear anymore. He like wants his pull-up. I don't know if it makes him like feel more secure, but even if I say, let's put on the underwear, he's just like, gets really upset and cries about it, does not want underwear. He wants his pull-up. If we get off the toilet and I'm like, no, we're going to put on underwear, he just will stand there with the pull-up by me until I put the pull-up on. I don't know if you have any suggestions for that.
Right. So he's probably, you've just had a couple of bumpy episodes surrounding toilet training.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I would do that is I would just wipe the slate clean, and I would not worry about it for a while. Year 4, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a kiddo that is one of those that's not going to be in diapers, for forever. I wouldn't see him in diapers, but, what we need to do is just take a deep breath and not worry about toilet training for a while. Kiddo wants to wear pull-ups, he can wear pull-ups, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you do start training, what I would be doing in the meantime is I would be making that bathroom a party place. It's the fun zone. Lots of fun things happen in the bathroom. And I would start, maybe he can wear pull-ups and he can pick out some big boy pants to put over them. He could wear both of them.
Okay.
And then you can kind of start fading the pull-ups out of the picture. And, we can make wearing the big boy pants that he picked out a big deal over the pull-ups. And wherever you can otherwise in your life, give choices. Mm-hmm. So that he has some control. Like I also said earlier, and I believe this to be very true with kiddos I've worked with over time, is they can get control of us 2 ways, food and elimination, and they can be real effective with it. So I would just turn things around and make the bathroom a party room. Okay. And no power struggle. If you feel that anxiety rising and you feel like it's becoming a power struggle, that's your sign. Oh, I need to make this a game. And it's hard. And it's so hard because we're human. And being human, our brains are hardwired to look out for things that scare us, to look out for things in the environment that are wrong. We are unfortunately just not primed to look out for the good things, the happy things. And I would just kind of shift that outlook to the bathroom's fun and I'm really happy in being here. Nothing that's happening with any of these kiddos is abnormal. It's all very, very valid. And it presents challenges in our relationships with the kid. That's where the foundation is, our relationship with that child.
So you would say, make it fun and then just transition the underwear back in over the pull-ups because I've gone away from potty training for a little while. We've gone through the process of the bathroom and all that. Mm-hmm. And occasionally we will pee in the potty. So my friend is very stubborn. And he uses us as control, what you're saying. So sure. Make it fun and kind of just work the underwear back in for a while and then
back in and start offering choices to give him some control.
Yeah, and I think
choices are going to be so important. Mm-hmm. Even if you think it's weird, to me, it doesn't matter if I use a yellow crayon or the orange crayon. I really don't care. It doesn't matter. But it's a choice that I have the opportunity to offer, Okay. Do you want the blue spoon or the red spoon or,
Mm-hmm.
Which sippy cup do you want today? Anything.
Okay.
What bath towel? This bath towel or that bath towel? You tell me. Your opinion. Your opinion matters.
Mm-hmm. That helps. Thank you.
Yeah. It really is about being very mindful and being present with that kiddo.
Okay.
Carla, this is. I tried to talk a minute ago and then I froze up, but you've got several residential families on here as well who are 16, 17, 18 years old. We did boot camp potty training when I was home. Fun, M&Ms, party in the bathroom. This kid would drink gallons of water and hold it for 17 hours.
Oh my gosh, a withholder.
Yeah. And so
professional withholder.
What's that?
A professional withholder. That's significant.
Yes. And the second he goes in the shower, he potties everywhere. And so we obviously know, I mean, we've taken him to a urologist. There is no medical issue. I get what you're saying about making that a goal and having to be okay with letting everything else go. But I've done everything that you've said. We've made it an entire week. We had support in the home for 10 straight days and he still didn't get trained. And so we've been working on it. I mean, we time train him. We know that in the group home, he can, the staff will take him and take him and take him. And then he has success, but he's still not initiating the fact that he has to go.
Right.
So,
and that might be a compromise. And same with the 18-year-old gentleman. It might be time training.
Okay.
The only other thing I could think of is if the shower, did you try, you might have tried this, but did you try sitting him on the toilet and running the shower?
Yep.
Okay.
Hair dryer on his lap, pouring a little water when he sat on the toilet, on his legs, warm towels. We have a little space heater. We live in, it's cold. He would, now when he would squat with the diaper on in front of the heater, he would go. But when I put him on the toilet with the heater, he won't go. So I don't know if there's a negative connotation with the toilet. I don't think so. I mean, we've done all kinds of treats and snacks and parties and music and.
Have you tried shaping him to the toilet? Like if he's in the squat, moving the squat closer to the toilet?
Yep.
Did you try a squatty potty in that?
He didn't have a squatty potty, but he had a stool where his legs were raised.
Okay.
But I agree with you. I think squatty potties are great. So maybe that's something we can get in the group home.
Wow, that's a challenging one. And you've tried a lot, and time training might be it.
Okay.
And time training is closer to independence than not.
Yeah, we want to work toward, because we know once he gets into adult services, they're not going to do that.
Right. Boy, that's disheartening, isn't it? Will he respond to, like, if he has a reminder watch, would he follow that?
We've done visual timers. I don't think he'd keep a watch on, but
okay.
we could, there's some visual things that I think we could be doing a little bit better in the group home, but he's moving soon, so we'll work on that at our next level. Yeah.
Well, good for you guys. I mean, that's a hard boot camp, 10 days. That's impressive.
We did every 5 minutes. I think there was a book we read, and it was pretty intense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, does anybody have any last minute questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you, Carla.
Thank you.
I know Carla has access to some data sheets if you guys are interested. We can send them over to you via email. If you're interested, just email care@heartspring.org and we can get something going for you. Also, if you came in late or know somebody that might be interested in the training, we will be uploading this to the Heartspring YouTube channel probably sometime next week. And if you guys want to stay, hop on our parent care group, we'll start that at 10 o'clock. Sound good? All right. Thank you, Carla.
Alrighty. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you guys at 10.
Bye.
Bye.